By the way, for all you guys that don't know, Andy Mineo was a backpack battle rapper. He was a savage. I was just the log in the fire that says, nah, keep going. I would travel 2 hours from deep in Brooklyn to his school, all the way up in the Heights, just to be like, hey man, what are we working on? You know, just to be like, hey man, I've been studying this. How can we implement this into your rhyme scheme? How can we implement this into your package? Bro, there's this battle happening. You know what I mean? And I know that you used to battle back in the day. By the way, for all you guys that don't know, Andy Mineo was a backpack battle rapper. He was a savage. Like, before the whole Christian thing, before he had his experience, this guy was winning TVs. Like, you know, when TVs, the plasma TVs used to be like $10,000 and stuff like that.
He was winning those in battles.
He was winning those in battles. Good. You know, destroying people, and with the most creativity. Coming up with rhymes like, you know, I'll destroy you with the ill gat like a Wookiee, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, and so, like, there was a tension at the time where, like, he's going through this spiritual formation, and he's like, yo, I don't think I can go to a battle, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, there's this battle right now happening in Washington Heights. You know, it's actually my coworker at the time. I was working at this bank, and my coworker was like, "Listen, we having this here," and I was like, "Bro, Andy, you need to get on this, and you don't have to attack anybody. It's more of a cipher, you know what I'm saying? But you better make sure you're the one standing out, you know." And that's the kind of conversation that I would have with him, and he'd be like, "Whoa, bro, chill, I got this," you know, like, you know what I mean? But there was a tension, because it's like, it's the no to do. Like, Christianity at times sometimes doesn't reflect the gospel. It's like, sometimes it's just really safe.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
That's
really
good.
safe.
He said Christianity at times sometimes does not reflect the gospel. Take that, you Pharisees.
Yeah, and that's even the Pharisee that lives in all of us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to be safe. I want to know that, you know, that I'm worried about how things look and how people perceive me, and I care about those things way too much, you know, and they cripple us all. But in all reality, there's no guarantee of safety, you know what I mean? And the idea is that, you know, you want to do stuff that only God can co-sign, you know what I'm saying? And that's that you displace yourself there. And that video went viral, and it ended up being like, Christian rapper destroys, you know, 20 secular rappers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You can
dope.
go check that video out right now. And it's so funny how people put things for you know, clickbait and stuff like that, because in all reality, it was just a cipher.
Yeah.
But in all reality, when you listen to hip hop and you're a hip hop head, that's what you really think about. You're really like, yo, who had the best verse?
Right.
Who left everybody in the dust?
Right.
And that was Andy Mineo. So I dedicated myself traveling to him 4 hours a day, 2 hours to him, 2 hours back, sometimes staying over, just making sure that the vocals are right, just making sure that he was trying things outside of his personality to do.
Did you do that knowing that Andy would become the Andy we know today?
I always knew.
You knew he was a star. I
always knew, without a doubt. There's very few people that I've met that I'm like, this guy's a star. Like, you know, and is a star within the medium that they're using. I've seen other people where I'm like, yo, this guy's gonna be something great, you know, but this medium might not be it. So I've always been able to be a connector for people, and always been the person to encourage some people to be like, bro, it's time to hang it up, bro.
Yeah. What was it specifically about Andy back then? Because C Light and Andy, different, very different. You know what I'm saying?
Polar opposites.
But back then, before he went by Andy Mineo, I mean, obviously that's his real name, but like when he was still going by C Light, what was it that you saw way back then that made you see that he was a star?
You know, honestly, he was very vulnerable, and he connected with people. He has this killer sense for reading a room. You know, he just knows how to harmonize with a crowd. He knows what this crowd wants. To this day, when I'm working with him, we're DJing and stuff like that, sometimes for me, I'm a very structured person. You know what I'm saying? I like structure. I like a game plan. Andy appreciates me for that. But within that game plan, where we compromise is a level of doing what's called an audible, doing something that's not in the structure that we plan. And sometimes I used to get annoyed by that, but now I've come to appreciate that, because that's his gift. Because he'll be able to say, this group of people, they don't want turn up records. They want to hear me rap. Or this group of people, they want to have a party. Let's throw a party. And so he'll be like, yo, Ray, take it away. I need you to do a 5-minute set at the end of my set and throw a party. He knows how to read people. So that's one of the qualities that I saw, that I knew he was going to be a great rapper, because no matter where you put him, you know, he was going to win you over, even if you didn't know him. So he could feel it. He could actually, to this day, he can sense a room and be like, nah, I'm not going to start with this song. None of these people came to see me. Like, if we're opening up for a huge artist that is not in this market, in the CHH market or whatever, and an artist that is larger than life, Andy's not going to start with a normal intro that he would start. He'll start a cappella sometimes, and he'll make people go. The room will get quiet. It feels like a pen drop, and it goes from because he's dropping that punchline, yada yada, or he's doing a song that exhibits his, I call it his X factor. Andy's X factor is his acrobatic cadence.
The faster rap stuff.
It's not just fast, right? It's not just like it's not like just a twister fast. It's being able to like move you physically with his words, like where you're assuming he can cause the listener to assume that he's going to continue this pattern, and almost like a basketball player where he's able to do like a fake and just cross you over and you're over there. That's what Andy can do. So like he'll be like and then go slow. Like just like,
that's the hope.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't I when I think about his ability to rap fast really well, and I think of his ability to just style and just be in a pocket, in a groove, there's very few. Belief is really the only other person I could think of that can style on a slow beat but also do really clean, quick cadences. Very few people that could do that at that level. And I just, like, on a mainstream level, there's not a lot of people that can do it that well. So I think that's a very interesting skill set, and I've seen it go over really well live. You know what I'm saying? So this is you start with Andy, and you guys are friends. You're helping him. You're traveling to see him. You see the genius in him. You're doing some production early on too, right?
Yeah. I did a lot of background vocals for Heroes for Sale. I did a lot of coaching for Heroes for Sale. I was there for majority of those recordings. I know 8 different versions of each song on that album. It was the first album that I felt like I was like, you know, hands-on coaching, speaking, and breathing life into the artist.
So you're coaching, you're helping him record.
My production actually didn't come from Andy until Neverland. Like I would do some like extra mechanicals on Heroes for Sale, Death Has Died. I did extra drum programming and stuff like that. I would do extra stuff, but I never put myself first on the production side because I wasn't there yet. I wasn't that good.
So you had that self-awareness at that point to know that even though, boom, he goes from Sea Light, he hops on that Lecrae record. He's now signed to Reach Records.
Yeah.
Like he's about to bubble. Everybody knows, because when Andy signed to Reach, we all knew like, oh, he has all the variables. Like he literally has everything you need to be freakishly successful. And you're next to him at the whole point, but yet you have the restraint. That's like the word of the day. You have the restraint to not insert yourself on the production end.
I do, because what happened was, I was realizing the role that I was in, but also the opportunity that he had, right? So like, as my friend, like he could toss me a bone and grab one of my tracks and just use one of my tracks as like, oh, that's my man's and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
But the opportunity is so big, you want to make sure that every track is top of the line. And if my track wasn't the one, then it wasn't the one. So what I was doing is, we had a few different emails, like beats for Andy Mineo at gmail.com, all these different email addresses, and people would send us beats. And what I would do with him, you know what I'm saying? I was doing this a lot more back then, is listening to all the beats and then creating a playlist for him to listen to my favorite ones, and he would look at those. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't like shuffling mine in there. I was listening to these and saying, yo, if my joint isn't as dope as this, I'm not gonna throw mine in there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until Neverland that like I produced Paganini, and it was like there was no doubts.